Yellow flag cases spiked after the Lewiston shooting, and they've remained high ever since. The law had been in effect for more than 3 years, but the vast majority of cases have been opened in just the last 10 months, suggesting that the law may only be as effective as those who are tasked with enforcing it.
Nora, I know you've contacted every sheriff's office in the state about this issue. What did you hear? What are they telling you?
Well, John, Megan, I found out that electronic monitoring is only available for pretrial inmates in 9 counties. And in most cases, it's used sparingly. Our point-in-time survey showed usage ranging from 0 to 40 inmates on monitoring at one time, raising questions about whether it's really being taken advantage of. So I asked PHA's executive director if he was worried that some staff members weren't following the guidelines that require issues like mold to be addressed within 30 days. So you're not concerned that there's anyone who's trying to skirt the rules?
We'll certainly be reviewing our internal policies and making sure that we're following the HUD requirements.
PHA redacted some of the defect notes with black marker, but when you hold it up to the light, you can read right through it. Her inspection form makes no mention of rats, at least not at first glance. In the notes here, it says, tenant reporting a hole under the kitchen sink. Stated she asked maintenance to fill hole and passed. And then this part is redacted. Worried it's entrance for rats. PHA's executive director confirmed that the defects on this form, including the hole, weren't resolved until last month, more than 5 months after the inspection. We're looking at the time elapsed between the end service date and the date that invoice is put into the system. When you take the days elapsed for each invoice and calculate the average, you get 29 days. So most of these invoices are being inputted within a reasonable time frame, but not for everyone. The thing for us will be to see how local law enforcement responds to this, which we'll know soon. And also in terms of this lack of support for these mental health services. I mean, that's something we're going to be looking at later today. I'm speaking to a military veteran who helps connect service members and veterans with mental health services to see what he has to say about this. I mean, there's a lot of room for action now.
Some solar companies advertise big savings for supporting green energy production, but Investigates found sometimes those promises are just too good to be true.
Norah Hogan joins us live in the studio now. And Norah, you spoke with one couple who was shocked by their solar bills. So why did they initially sign up?
Well, Megan, John, they thought they were doing something good for the environment, and they thought that they might save a little money too. A lot of these companies go door to door to get people to sign up. Lisa Cloutier and her wife Jennifer ended up signing up right in their living room.
We thought we were going to help the planet. We didn't know it was going to take half of a paycheck.
They signed up at the end of 2023. A couple of months into their contract, their bills started going up. It didn't seem to make sense based on how much electricity they were using. By January of this year, they were facing a nearly $600 bill for their small single-family apartment.
They make it look good on the pamphlet.
They really do, and it's not what you sign up for. It's sad. It's sad.
When you sign up for a solar subscription, Central Maine Power will still deliver your electricity, and you'll start getting 2 bills, one from CMP and another from the company that handles your solar subscription. In Lisa and Jennifer's case, that was Arcadia. Whatever you pay on your solar bill will then be translated into credits on your CMP bill. You'll pay CMP for the difference plus a small delivery fee. But here's the catch. Your solar bill isn't based on your energy usage. It's based on how much solar energy the farm produced during that billing cycle and what percentage of the farm you're subscribed to. If someone is oversubscribed, they end up paying for more credits than they could possibly use. After examining their bills, Investigates found that that's exactly what happened to Lisa and Jennifer. We calculated that on average, Lisa and Jennifer were paying more than triple what they would have been spending on utilities without a solar subscription. By the time they canceled their contract, they had more than 7,000 unused credits. After a year, unused credits expire.
What happens to all this energy that you don't use?
You might not get to use all these credits.
So you're paying for electricity that you can't even use. You know, if they expire, then it's gone. You paid for it.
It's a loss of money. It's not fair to the customers.
Using public utility filings, we discovered that in 2023, CMP customers enrolled in community solar programs lost more than $2.2 million in expired credits. 73% of those credits belong to residential customers. That means that Mainers like Lisa and Jennifer lost more than $1.6 million in 1 year.
If they're gonna be allowed to come into the state and offer these things, then there should be someone to look into them.
When we reached out to Arcadia for comment, they said they always try to make sure that people have an appropriately sized subscription and that if an issue arises, they work to fix it as quickly as possible.
We helped Lisa and Jennifer connect with the Office of Public Advocate. They were able to work with this company, Arcadia, ended up saving them close to $1,000 that they still owed after canceling their solar subscription.
All right, good work. One specific case here. So what about anybody else who might be watching tonight unhappy with their solar subscriptions?
Right, so if you're signed up and you think you may be overpaying, check out your CMP bill. If you go to the second or third page, you can see how many credits are going unused each month. And then you can call your solar company, tell them you want to reduce your subscription, or you're going to have to cancel your account. And if you're still having trouble after that, not getting through there, you should reach out to the Public Advocate's office. Maine is behind every other state in the nation when it comes to investigating and prosecuting sexual assaults. We have no idea how many untested rape kits are sitting in Maine police departments, and state lawmakers failed to fund a new bill to do an inventory of those kits. So unless that's revived before next session, we'll likely continue to be in the dark for a while. Now, here's what's new. I sat down with the county prosecutor in Wayne County, Michigan, where the district recently finished testing thousands of old rape kits.
In 2009, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office discovered more than 11,000 untested, unopened sexual assault kits sitting in a Detroit police warehouse. Some dated back 35 years.
It's a colossal miscarriage of justice.
Those kits hold DNA evidence collected in hours-long examinations, storing everything from samples of a victim's pubic hair to the shirt that they were wearing at the time of the assault.
Each rape kit represents a victim of a crime.
Within 10 years, every kit was tested. The results have identified 844 suspected serial rapists, so far leading to hundreds of convictions, linking to crimes in 40 states, including one case right here in Maine.
Can you think of how many cold cases you might be able to solve if you just test your rape kits?
In Maine, we know that only 20 to 30% of rape kits are sent to the state crime lab for testing.
Unless you're looking for it, you're not going to realize that this is one really unfortunate area of law and policy where this has just fallen through the cracks in a lot of districts.
So what would happen if we tested the other 70 to 80% of those kits?
Not surprised by Detroit's numbers. Absolutely, we would expect to see a comparable percentage of serial sex assaulters in Maine.
As we've mentioned, we don't know how many untested kits are out there in Maine, but I wanted to at least look for an estimate. So I reached out to every district attorney in our state. The Cumberland County DA, who you just heard from, knows that she has a backlog. She started reaching out to local police departments and expects to find several hundred kits based on what they've told her. 3 district attorneys say that they don't have a good faith estimate, and 4 district attorneys say that their districts don't have a significant backlog.
So really quite the contrast here after we heard from prosecutor Kim Worthy about what they saw there. And were you able to ask her what she thinks about some of those responses that you got back from district attorneys here in Maine?
Yes, I definitely wanted her response. I asked her what she would say to those district attorneys who think that this isn't an issue in their district. She had a really interesting answer. Here's what she had to say.
You're fooling yourselves, and you're not being honest with either yourself, your office, or your constituents.
She really wants prosecutors everywhere in every state to make this their issue, to be curious about this and talk to law enforcement. I will say, though, worth noting that DA Sartoris taking a more gentle tact here. She really wants to give them the benefit of the doubt since this conversation is just getting started here in Maine.